Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike bringing you probably the second to the last look at my collection. So I've got, I think, 4 pages left. We'll do 2 with this video and 2 in the last one because the last one's my favorites and then my secret rares. So let's go ahead and start up here with a Shiftry EX from Crystal Guardians. Dark Eyes, after your opponent's Pokemon uses Poke Power, put 2 damage counters on it. Interesting. And then he just has a sniping attack and a regular attack. But he seems, well, I don't know, double weakness. But he seems okay. Cheap attacker with a cool Poke Power. Then we have this Shiftry EX from Power Keepers. Skill Hack. Look at your opponent's hand and choose a basic Pokemon or evolution card you find there. One of that Pokemon's attacks. Huh. That's weird. It copies an attack from your opponent's hand. I don't know how useful that would be. But, whatever. And then Dirge is the same as that Metagross we saw before, where it just wrecks anything with the same name, except it does less damage. Next up we have an Exploud EX, again from Crystal Guardians. Extra noise, as long as Exploud EX is your active Pokemon, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon EX between turns. Ouch. That combined with Desert Ruins, I would imagine, would be pretty devastating. Does 20 damage to EX Pokemon between turns. But his attacks aren't that great. Next up is a Dustox EX, which was one of my favorites. Just because it has Safeguard, so it actually has protection from all other EXs, which is really cool. I think Dustox was the only EX that had Safeguard. I could be wrong, though. And his attacks were okay, but whatever. He was just good. I liked him because of Safeguard. He's from whatever this is. I can never remember. I want to say Hidden Legends, but I might be wrong. Next is Meganium EX. I don't remember what he does. He's from Unseen Forces. Once during your turn, you may attach a Grass Energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, remove 1 damage counter from that Pokemon. So, acceleration and healing together. That's pretty cool. His attacks are super expensive, though. Then we have a Vileplume EX. Block Dust, as long as Vileplume EX is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play trainer cards. That sounds familiar. And again, that includes stadiums, I guess. And it's from this one that I never remember the name. I always say Hidden Legends for that and the other one, but only one of those is right. So, yep, Vileplume's actually not as good as the one we just had last format. Next up is a Walrein EX from Power Keepers. Chilling Breath, once during your turn when you play Walrein EX from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. Your opponent can't play any trainer cards from his hand during your opponent's next turn. And that does not specify except supporters, so that's pretty nasty. Next up we have Kabutops EX from Sandstorm. I don't think he's any good. No, 2 weaknesses and no resistance. Yeah, he's not very good. But hey, it's Kabutops. Kabutops is cool. Next up is Politoed EX from Unseen Forces. I remember I had a deck with him in it. I'm sure it was terrible, but it was fun. Does just damage. He does heal himself. Remove count. Yeah, it does 120 if Politoed has more HP left than the other Pokemon, so that's pretty cool. Moving right along to our next page, the second to the last page. We have Crobat EX from EX Deoxys. Distortion, once during your turn, if Crobat EX is your active Pokemon, put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it just does 10 extra damage if he's active. Not that great. And then Pester does 100 if they have a special condition. I don't know if there were any cards that could inflict special conditions from the bench during that time or not. If there were, Crobat could have been pretty good. Free retreat, so that's nice. Next up, one of my all-time favorites, because it's my second favorite Pokemon, Gengar EX. Poltergeist, pretty sure that's the same as it is now. Damage plus 10 more for each trainer, with no damage limit, and then prize count. If you have more prizes than your opponent, it does 100, so it's a comeback card. Double weakness kind of sucks, but he has a double resistance to make up for it. I played with the card all the time because I thought it was great, just because it was Gengar. Next up is our second Metagross from this one. This one's not as good as the other one, I think. Extra Comet Punch does 50, and then the next turn it does 100. But I guess there wasn't any sort of catcher, so that was probably a lot stronger. Next up, Delta Species Salamence EX. He's a water type, but he can type shift into fire, which is pretty cool. And then Dual Stream can do 40 and 40 to a benched, or just a straight up 80, so that's pretty awesome. And then we have this Salamence EX from Power Keepers. This one was so good. Volcanic Flame, 150 damage. It mills your own deck, but holy crap. 160 HP, 2 resistances, and 150 damage attack. And then Hydro Wave does 30 damage to all of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So really good. I thought it was really good anyhow. Again, I didn't actually play competitively, so who knows. But I love that card. And then to round out the trio, we have the first Salamence EX from EX Deoxys. Dragonlift, the retreat cost for each of your Pokemon is 0. All Pokemon. So it's like Darkrai on crack. And then just does some attacks for damage. But yeah, I used to use those two together in a deck. It was a blast. Next up, we have a Delta Species Tyranitar EX, which is a really unique set of attacks. Electromark puts a Shockwave marker on your opponent's Pokemon. Tyranitar EX was the only card that could do a Shockwave marker, I think. And then when you use Shockwave, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any Shockwave markers on it and knock it out immediately. So, I mean, it was kind of weird. It 2-hit KO'd Pokemon, any Pokemon, which was cool, I guess. Just a unique. And it's from Dragon Frontiers. I think I said that right. And then Hyper Claws is just his other attack. And then we have Tyranitar EX from Unseen Forces with 4 attacks. Kind of Tyranitar's thing, just having a ridiculous amount of attacks. I don't know how good any of them were. And then last for tonight, we have a promo Tyranitar EX. And he doesn't do good things. He's not that great. But hey, Tyranitar. So that is going to do it for this video. A short one, but I want to save my favorites for last, so we'll get to those next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up if you like the video. Leave me a comment about my cards if you would like to do that. And I'll have probably one more collection video on the way a little bit later. So thanks for watching, guys.